Hello children, I welcome you all to the English class. Today we learn poem 5 from first flight, the ball poem written by John Berryman. In this poem, a boy loses his ball. He's very upset. A ball doesn't cost much, nor it is difficult to buy another ball. Then why is the boy so upset? Read the poem to see what the poet thinks has been lost and what the boy has to learn from the experience of losing something. The poet is John Berryman. He was an American poet and scholar. He is best known for the Dream Songs of 1969, which was a sequence of 385 poems. He won Pulitzer Prize for the Dream Songs. He also won National Book Award. So the main theme or the message of this poem is that the poet John Berryman wants to say that in everybody's life, the reality of life is that everyone has to face a loss in their life in some or the other point of time. And he has also touched the topic how to stand up against the miseries and sorrows of life. Now let me read the poem for you, the first four lines. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water. So here the poet says, yeah, what the boy is now, what the boy is going to do. What the boy is going to do. He has lost his ball in the water. He was playing. The boy was playing with the ball and suddenly the ball slipped from his hand and it bounced in the street, down the street and fell into the water. And what the boy is going to do? The poet is looking at the boy's reaction and how he is feeling and what the boy would do right now. Children, here merrily bouncing means, yeah, the child was very happy playing with the ball and the ball just skipped out of his hand. It was, he took himself as responsible for not, letting the ball out, and he was really having a good time with the ball playing. And some of the literary devices used here are anaphora. If you can see what and what is repeated in the first and the second line, that's called anaphora. And then you see oh boy now who and lost. O is used. The vowel O is used in the first line very frequently, so it is called assonance. And then we have a line called third line, merrily bouncing down the street. That shows an imagination or imagery created in our mind how the ball is jumping and moving down the streets and it falling into the water. So in this stanza we see that the boy has lost his ball. Now coming to the next four lines of the poem, no use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. Children, here are some of the meanings. Oh, there are other balls. What does it mean? It suggests that the loss is not important enough to worry about. And shaking grief, what does it mean? That means sadness which greatly has affected the boy. Rigid means stiff, grief means sorrow, and trembling means shaking. And what is the meaning of harbor? Harbor is a place where the ships are made to stop. It is also called a dock or a port. So the first line, the poet says, no use to say, oh, there are other balls. The boy has lost his ball into the water. He was merrily playing, happily playing with the ball. Now, no use of saying the ball or consoling the boy saying that you have other balls, you can play with it. Why? It is not of use of consoling the boy, because an ultimate shaking grief has fixed the boy. the boy has lost his one of his favorite ball into the water. So even if he gets a new ball or any other ball, he cannot get the attachment that he had with that ball, because only after losing a very important thing or a close thing to us we feel the importance of it. And this ball has really carried his childhood memories with him. That's the reason he has finally stood there as trembling and standing stiff and staring at the ball which carried all his memories into the water. So the boy is experiencing the loss right now. So no other ball can give him any pleasure or replace his attachment with this ball. So that's what the poet says. And the literary device used here are repetition, that is the use of ball again and again. And there is also use of dime, yes, in dime, which is used in the next stanza. So let's see. So what do you understand from this four lines? That the boy has lost his ball and he is staring at the ball. He is freezed at the same place, not accepting, or he's experiencing the loss and the responsibility of losing a very close thing to him. Now the poet, the next five lines says, I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball is worthless now. Now he senses first responsibility. In the world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. So the poet says, I can buy him a new ball, or I can also hand him some money telling him to buy a new ball, but this will never help the boy to come out of the loss or the sorrow that he is experiencing right now. And the poet says, I will not do this, because this is the time the boy is going to face the reality of life, that is losing things in life, and that is the universal truth. So this little boy is experiencing his first responsibility of losing things in this world for the first time, and so he is standing still and experiencing the loss. And with this he will be growing stronger and stronger to face so many more losses that he would face in his life, which is a reality. So the poet also says, this world is a world of possessions. Many things will come, many things will go. Here he is comparing the ball with the materialistic things. People will take balls, balls will be lost, little boy. He says nothing is, very much close to us. Even if it is loved ones or near ones or very possessive things that we have in this world, everything will be lost at some point of a time. There's no guarantee. So the boy says we have to grow up, you have to accept the reality, face the sorrow, feel the loss, and then move on. So here intrude means not to invade or not to disturb or not to interfere. Dime is a 10 cents, which is a currency in US. Worthless means valueless, useless, and situation. So this is desperate means hopeless. Let us see. The repetition of ball is continuously used in this poem, which is a literary device, and there is no rhyming scheme in this poem used. It's a free verse. So what is the purpose of these lines? The boy knows the value of things. He takes up the responsibility for the first time, because when the ball was with him he had a very good time. As soon as he lost his ball, he felt the responsibility of losing it, and he's experiencing the loss, and now he feels the importance of losing a very close thing from him. But the reality is he has to face the loss, and he should stand against the miseries or the sorrows of life. Now, here the poet says the last five lines of the poem, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of loss, how to stand up knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. What a beautiful lines John Berryman has written. Here, epistemology, the meanings means understanding the nature of loss or knowledge of having something, whether it is good or bad. Knowing, the nature of knowing or knowledge is called epistemology. Here, the poet says, and no one buys a ball back. Whatever is gone is gone. Whatever possessions or things or people we lose in our life, they cannot come back. Once it is lost, is gone. And money is external. What do you mean by this? Yeah, money is external means money can buy you so many things in this world, and some things are very close to us, but we also should be responsible to keep it, and we may also lose it, so we cannot control it, isn't it? And so he is learning. The boy is in an unbearable situation. He lost his ball, the ball which had a lot of memories. Now he is learning to understand. So the poet says, let him experience the loss, and let him be have the desperate eyes. We can look into the eyes and see his reaction, how desperate he is, and he is knowing the loss, the knowledge of loss, the nature of loss. This is how the world works. Now he is also knowing how to stand up, because our life should go on. It is a beautiful life that God has gifted us. We cannot waste our precious life thinking about the materialistic thing that we lose, because money is external, it may come and go. Money can buy you any comfort or luxuries, but it cannot buy you all the relationship or the responsibility or the closeness that you have with a thing. So he says, let the boy experience the loss, and every person will know and will understand and will get the courage to face this loss and overcome the loss and still go on in the life ahead. So every man will know it one day or the other day to stand up and overcome the miseries. Similarly, he says the boy who has lost his ball, he's learning how to overcome his. So let him experience the loss and overcome the miseries and the grief that is surrounded him. So here we learn materialistic things will be lost. That is the universal truth. So alliteration is the poetic device used here. If you see the first line, it is been underlined, buys a ball back. B, b, b sound is repeated, buys ball back. So that is the starting sound of B is used in the two consecutive words. So that's called alliteration. Assonance also is used. If you see, he is learning. He, E sound is being used very closely. So that's called assonance. In the second line, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times the sound E, vowel sound E is used. So that is the use of assonance. So materialistic things are lost. So the main poet or the main theme of the poem is life is precious and we should not waste it. It should be lived happily. It should be lived purposefully and fruitfully. We cannot waste our life being stuck because we lost something in our life. Because loss is a universal thing. We have to lose things throughout our life, and we should stand up and go on. And the central idea of the poem is that, yeah, the loss is universal truth. At some or the other point of time in our life, every person loses something or the other. So we should be responsible, we should know the importance of everything, and we know the importance of a thing only when we lose it. So here says, he says the boy is experiencing his responsibility or facing the loss for the first time in his life. So he is grief stricken, he is rigid, he is staring, he cannot bear the loss, and he is experiencing the loss. So let him experience. No other new ball can give him a new life, because all his memories are connected with the ball. So let him experience, and let him come out and stand up with courage and overcome this fear or sorrow in life. So that is how the theme of the poem is beautifully explained by the poet John Berryman. And now we have some questions quickly coming up. Please answer it. What happened to the boy? The boy has lost his, yeah, close, very, very precious and very nearest object, that is his ball, into the water. Why was he in grief? He lost his ball, and now he stands there still looking and staring at his ball, because all his memories are connected to the ball. Who is the poet? John Berryman. Fourth one, what is the central idea of the poem? The central idea of the poem is to take up loss and the responsibility, because loss is the universal truth. So it will be crossing our life at any time of the point, any point of the time life, but it should not stop our life. The life goes on, and we should understand that materialistic things are external. The materialistic and worldly possessions are external. So we gain or we get some things very close to us, but if we lose it, we should overcome it. And what is the theme of the poem? The theme of the poem is life is very beautiful and precious. We cannot let our life spoil only because we lose all the materialistic or worldly things, because loss is the truth of life. So life should be lived purposefully and fruitfully. So here comes, we come to the end of the poem. Thank you so much. And then read the poem with the poetic devices, and understand the central and the theme. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.